Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview on a Monday, April 25th, 2016. Traders, great to be with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue sunny skies, white sandy beaches and blue waters, and very hot. Yes, we have hit summer early here in Thailand this year and it is cooking, as they would say. Traders, like I said, great to be with you. This is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, if you would, come visit us at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Great site to visit and a great economic calendar, education, open up a demo account, even maybe try a live account. Get in the business of trading the Forex markets. It's a lot of fun. All right, traders, let's get moving. I got 6 currency pairs to talk about, a little bit about data today. And it's a Monday, and it's a typical Monday in the Forex markets. However, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008, I retired from a 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, I'll tell you that 9 days later, got on the big bird and decided to come to Bangkok, Thailand. And I came for a 3-month holiday. Well, traders, I just started my 9th year living in Thailand and having a great time and enjoying every minute of it. I love the time zone for trading. Up early in the morning, 5:30, 5:45, and go to sleep about 11 o'clock at night and trade myself away, right? Just trade and stay in the markets. No, I don't sit in front of my computers for all that time, my friends. I do go out. I have a normal life thanks to modern technologies and iPhones and iPads. But I do enter my trades on my office computer. And the reason for that is because I have several screens and I want to make sure my confirmation is correct before I enter a trade. And also when I'm doing my trade planning, I need multiple screens to make sure I'm correlated with my trade plan. I do use fundamentals. I listen to fundamentals all day. And I pay for newsfeed, which is very important. We're macro traders and we need to know what's going on around the globe. It does affect Forex trading as we know we are in earnings season, and that definitely is affecting our trading in the Forex markets as different reports come out on different companies. So I put my technical side, which I think is my strongest side, and that's analyzing charts, candlesticks, price action, price structure, price failure, support, resistance. I use the Fibonacci tool all the time. And putting those both together, and I come up with a trade plan. Then I trade my trade plan. Well, it'd be nice to say that, hey, listen, every trade plan I put out there works. No, of course they don't all work. I take losing trades just like everybody else, and that's just part of Forex. And the trick is money management. And what's the main thing we want to remember is capital preservation, right? If we have capital preservation, we have success. Live to trade for tomorrow, to open up that platform and be able to trade the next day. Okay. All right. That's just a little bit about myself and how I trade. Let's get a move on. Got a lot to do today. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's head on over to news and commentary. Let's take a look at what we got going on here. How did the markets close on Friday? Well, the Dow 30 closed up 0.12%. The S&P 500 closed up 0.01%. Wow, just barely. And the NZDUSD closed in the red, negative 0.80%. And the small cap 2000 closed positive 0.82%. Let's head out over to the Eurozone, and let's take a look at what happened with the DAX. The DAX closed negative 0.60%. The FTSE 100 closed negative 1.11%. And the CAC 40 closed negative 0.29%, with the Eurostoxx 50 closing at negative 0.44%. All right, let's head on over to my side of the world, and we're going to take a look at some of the markets that are currently open, some are not. The Nikkei 225, which is open, is negative 0.48%. The S&P ASX out of Australia is on a holiday today, but they closed Friday negative 0.69%. The China 850 doesn't open for another 6 minutes. Missed this by 6 minutes. Anyhow, they closed positive 0.56%. And the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong also opens in 6 minutes, and they closed Friday at negative 0.64%, with the Kospi currently trading and is negative 0.09%. Traders, let's take a look at the economic calendar. I got to tell you that Australia's on a holiday today, and so is New Zealand on a holiday today. So very, very quiet Asia session today. We do have some data coming out in the European session. However, Prime Minister Abiy has been talking already this morning, reference to he's getting ready to put his budget forward, and he's structuring his budget around the rebuilding after the earthquake that hit Japan last week. So what do we have as far as high impact data? We have a lot of medium impact data, but the big one is going to be the German IFO Business Climate Account comes out in the London session today, and that's really about it as far as high impact. The next high impact event is in the U.S. session, and that'll be new home sales, and they're expecting 520K. Previous was 512K, so they're looking for an uptick on new home sales for data out of the U.S. markets today. So that's what's going on with our economic calendar. Like I said, there is a lot of medium impact data coming out today, so keep an eye on your economic calendar. However, the Asia session is absolutely quiet today as the two big dogs are on holiday today. All right, that wraps it up for the markets and our economic calendar. Commentary is, I'm looking forward to a great week. We do have FOMC later in the week. They have their meeting. We're not expecting any changes. We're not expecting any rate hike. I think the statement will be the biggest concern as we go forward, and what FOMC Chair Janet Yellen has to say on what direction the Fed is heading. So I'm sure we'll get a lot of Fed speakers throughout the week, and we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll keep you updated every day who's speaking and when they're speaking. All right, let's get over to the charts. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. The euro dollar worked out great on Friday. Our trade plan worked out just fantastic, and we're sitting now on support. So I'm looking for an aggressive pullback here, and I'd like to get back up to this R1 and get to 1.1279. Draghi did exactly what he wanted to do, and that was he wanted to bring the euro down. And that's what he did, and this time it worked. And he brought it all the way back down to 12.10, 12.13, I think. So we did exactly what he wanted to do. So we're just looking for a pullback, and we'll sell this. You know, I could say you can take this from the daily pivot point of the 55 EMA, but you don't have a lot of pips before you're going to get break even. You're going to be back at this support range, which has been hit 3 times and has been rejected from this price level. And that looks at 12.18. So, you know, realize you really better off being patient and just wait for this to come back up. And the euro is great about doing pullbacks, so I don't think we're going to have an issue with that. It just might be later in the day in the London session. All right, let's take a look at the pound. Pound had an up day on Friday. Wow, this thing just took off on Friday. Definitely was against our trade plan. You know, we were bearish. Well, I still am bearish with the pound dollar. So I don't think this is going to last very long. They do have data coming out. It's going to be pretty interesting. However, this is about a trend line. And as I say that, it's just about a 3-touch trend line. And I'm just looking for a trend line break here. I want to take this down. Now, remember, gaps get filled. You know, 99.5%. The gaps get filled. Gaps usually don't go without getting filled. Whether it takes 1 day or it takes 2 weeks, gaps get filled. So I'd like to see it close, and we'd love to enter this at 1.4437. And we'd like to wait till this gets all the way down to the S1 pivot at 1.4336. So we're looking at like a 99 pip trade here. We're gonna get some trouble at the daily pivot point, but you'll be in enough pips to be break even by then. So you're not gonna have to worry about it. If it bounces, it bounces. Just put an intelligent stop and know that you're gonna get a bounce there. Look at left of the chart. There's a lot of price action. So we're gonna get some movement at that point, and then hopefully it'll break through there after time. And hopefully by the New York session, we're down at that big green line, the 200 exponential moving average, and the S1 pivot point at 43.36 to take our profits. So I don't think we're going to be in the trade for only an hour. I think this is probably a 4 or 5 hour trade, maybe even a 6-hour trade into New York. But I think the trade is absolutely doable. And it looks like a great setup being at resistance. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Now, I'm bearish in the Aussie dollar. It just continues to head on down. So, we're sideways right now. And we had this move down on Friday. And we're sideways. And, I'm not going to chase the big red candle, right? We're not going to chase the big red candle. We're going to wait for some kind of price action. So what's going to happen here is, and Aussie's done this in the past, it just continues to go down, and we have to wait for an entry somewhere. Or I would like this to pull back to the daily pivot point and the 55 EMA. We can get in at 0.7728. So somebody's probably saying, well, William, what if it goes back to the 200 exponential moving average and the all-1? And yes, that's a perfect entry. That'd be an awesome entry at 0.7749. And where we're going to take profit depends on where we end up in this trade. And I don't have a take profit on this chart, to be honest with you, because I'm not sure how price action is going to react. Like I said, the Aussie is really good about just continuing and not giving us a pullback. And then other days it gives us nice pullbacks. But I'd really like to see a pullback before I jumped into this trade. But, again, they're on holiday today, so we don't know how much price action we're going to get. So it's not on the top of my watch list, that's for sure, to get into an Aussie trade. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. And this is just absolutely ugly price action, folks. If, don't take a screenshot of this and show your loved one that, oh, hey, I just quit my job and went to Forex. Take a look at this. This is a disaster here, this chart. This is sideways. It's nasty. Look at all these decision and indecision candles. It's just absolutely horrible. So saying that, what I do like is that the second candle in has that nice big wick that spiked through the all-1 pivot point here in Asia. And then the second candle has a nice wick on it. So the bulls seem to be getting weak and the bears seem to be taking over. And that's exactly what I'm looking for, a bearish candlestick formation. And I'll take this to the downside. Now, I'll tell you that my stop is going to be an intelligent stop. And we're not going to give this a lot of room. Okay, I'll tell you the secret. I'm just going to go above that wick of that second candle in. I'm going to go about 3 pips above it. I'm going to put my stop there. And it's either going to work or it's not going to work. But I'm not going to give this a lot of room. This is a lot of mess that we got to fight through before we get clear at the daily pivot point. If we can get below the daily pivot point, we have a nice ride down to our S1 pivot at 1.4511. So, we're looking at a nice 70 pip trade here, 68 pip trade here, and looking at maybe like a 12 pip or 15 pip stop. So this looks like a really nice trade. We just need this to work. And again, Australia's on holiday today, so Aussie's got the day off, so we don't know how price action is going to work. It looks like it's going to be what we call, as we always have, Observation Monday. Just watch what's going on and be careful and be smart and be patient before you enter your trades. Let's take a look at the Euro Yen. The Euro Yen gave us a little surprise on Friday. It really had an up day on Friday. And however, the yen is recuperating and is coming back down. And, there's several entries here, to be honest with you, folks. I put a trend line trade in, that would be the trade plan, is for this to break the daily pivot point and, of course, break the trend line and retest it. Now, that's going to take some time, right? We know that's going to take some time. The other thing you can look for is see if this gives you a pullback. If this gives you a pullback up towards the top of this chart, towards resistance, you can then enter the trade there. So you do have a couple of trade plans you can trade. You can also trade from the break of the daily pivot, realizing that you do have a valid trend line with 3-touch trend line here, and take it from there. I am bearish on the Euro Yen. There's no doubt about that. I'm bearish on the Euro Yen. All I want to do is sell it. I have no interest in buying the Euro Yen, folks. So I'd like to get in at 124.70. We'll get at 124.10. That's a nice 60 pip trade. We're past all the challenges, the daily pivot point, the 55, and the left of the chart price action, and we can take this straight on down to the 200 exponential moving average, and I think that'll be a nice, sweet trade. All right, let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar, another one of my favorites. However, they're on holiday today also. However, I'm looking for a pullback from the New Zealand dollar, and I'd like to see this pull back to the all-1 pivot, and that's at 0.6907, 6900, somewhere in that area. Basically, I don't want it to go above the 200 exponential moving average, that green line, and we'll take this to the downside. I'm not too worried about the daily pivot point. There is some price action left to the chart, but nothing that I'm too concerned about. I think it'll go through it pretty easily. Or what's going to happen, traders, is it's going to get to that daily pivot, and it's going to give you a bearish pattern to take it short from there, and that's fine. That's not a bad trade, and we're going to get out at the S2 pivot at 0.6773. So, we have a lot of choices here, and it just depends how price action works out throughout the day. But we have two good entries. One is below the daily pivot, and one is the 200 exponential moving average, or the all-1 at 6907. I'd really like this to stay below 6,900. I really do not want this going above 6,900. We'd like to get this to like 6,890 and take this to the downside. So that's what I'm looking at on the New Zealand dollar. And traders, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you for joining me. April 25th, 2016. Traders, please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, right on time today, 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Traders, have a great trading day, and always remember to trade smart and not hard. Traders, we'll catch you in about 24 hours. Take care now. Bye-bye.